Check, check. We should be live, Richard. Welcome.
Hey,
What's going on?
pleasure to be here.
We have good morning. We have a very nice traditional live streams. I think this may be the fourth one. And people still ask me to ask you about Toyota from the first one when we did in 2017 or 18.
I'm happy to answer questions about that still. If you want to talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss many things: Pulse Chain, altcoins, Bitcoin, the questions from the chat. But let's catch up from the last time. I mean, last time was maybe in 2021. Hex was new; it was released. I remember. Hex, of course, has performed very well. And now you have Pulse Chain going on. Yeah, let's summarize what has happened during the past 1.5 years for our audience.
Yeah, I gave away Hex for free to Bitcoin holders, and it was worth like $500 million at some point. Now this is a dip, so technically it's worth less. And then the price of Hex went up 10,000x if you didn't stake. If you did stake, it went up a lot more. So there was like a big payday where you got at least a third more coins just from stake one day. And then it's had over 1,000 days of perfect flawless operation, while everything else around it has failed. So, Luna went to zero. All the Ohm coins went to zero. Celsius went bankrupt. I begged everyone to take their coins off of Celsius. I'm going to take this light off. It's like flickering. I invented a product that was designed to remove counterparty risk. And you could just generate yield with your own keys and your own wallet with no middlemen. And then instead of using that, everyone goes and gives middlemen their keys and gets robbed, gets annihilated. And so you see a bunch of, so basically like, I own the world's largest diamond. I own $10 million of watches, $1 million of Bulgari jewelry, $3 million of cars. I designed a perfectly flawless performing 10,000x coin, more if you staked, like 2 times more, depending on how long. I raised $27 million for charity. I'm doing the world's largest free airdrop. I called the Bitcoin top on the day. I got everyone to pull their coins out of Celsius. It's like, what else can I do for you guys? Like, I'm doing all the things,
And I watched your. What's it called? It's called not mukbang is when you eat, but what's called when you show what you bought? It's unboxing, but it's haul, right? I watched your hauls as well. So you have a very nice community. I gotta say that. I mean, the people have been pinging me all the time about Hex and Pulse and do the stream again. Right. And congrats on the successes with Hex. And
I still think it's early. I think it's early for Hex. It's not listed on the big exchanges. Everyone still thinks this is a scam because they're idiots. It's just Bitcoin with proof of work change. Instead of inflating to blow up the environment with SHA-256 mining, we inflate to reward stakers to hold the price up. It's Bitcoin with proof of work change. And it's more secure. Bitcoin's had multiple inflation bugs. It's likely to have more because it's spaghetti code, whereas our consensus code is locked and isolated. We keep seeing inflation bugs everywhere. AVAX had one. XLM had one. Bitcoin had 2. Bytecoin had one. Monero had one. It's the most pervasive flaw in blockchain software, and Hex specifically solves it by having its consensus code locked and isolated in a place where you can't accidentally screw it up when you upgrade the network. It's like they upgraded the Ethereum network. It went from proof of work to proof of stake, and Hex still works flawlessly. Yay! So we got upgrades to the throughput, or not? We didn't get upgrades to throughput. Well, we got upgrades to the negative externalities, like, but it didn't affect our code because our code's locked and isolated. So we get improvements,
Right.
but we don't get the risk of the improvements. When they tried to improve the Bitcoin network stack one time to make it quicker, oops, anyone could have minted as many free Bitcoin as they wanted. This is 3 years ago.
And how much is Hex down since the peak if you count with staking?
95%.
Well,
Oh, with staking, less.
it's
A lot
95
less.
without
Yeah.
staking. Yeah.
So if you go to look into hex.com, there's a chart of like Bitcoin and Hex and Ethereum and some of the things built on top of Hex, like Hadron and Maximus. So they're like, one of them you can combine into a giant stake and then you can trade it. And then another one, you can encapsulate stakes and then they generate NFTs and then you can trade those NFTs, which also are the stakes themselves. So I guess those are two innovative products built on top of Hex. If you look at those charts, like, you know, we're still up massive versus everything. We're still up, you know, 100x versus Bitcoin probably. Like, I mean, when you go from 0.0005655 to 0.56, the 10,000x, even like if you go up 10,000x and you drop 95%, you're still up 500x. So even without staking, we're still up 500x. It's a lot.
And now the community is very excited for the Pulse chain.
Yeah.
And what was your idea with that when Hex was launched and performed? And as you say, you did a good job with auditing it, so it wasn't any issues since launch. Why did you decide to do Pulse chain, and how do you ensure that Pulse chain is the same in terms of quality and in terms of uptime, in terms of consensus, because it's a way more complex project with endless complexity, because it can execute code, it can do everything that ETH can do.
Yeah.
While Hex is very, very simple. So
Yep.
how do you manage this with a way more complex project?
Well, it's like, security is a function of ratios. How much attack surface is there? How much effort have you gone into securing that surface? And how much value is there in people cracking it? And you can make things that are relatively perfectly secure. So, you know, like Diffie-Hellman exchange and a lot of the elliptical curve photography or cryptography that we all use hasn't had any problems. You know, we haven't had like factoring attacks or anything like that. And so the attacks that quantum computing would bring are decades in the future. And we have, you know, counters that you can release before they become a problem. So, you know, you can have actual security. It does exist, which is nice. And so how do you get your attack surface to be minimized? Well, you know, when you're writing code, you make sure you don't use magic numbers, you use variables instead. You use well-known audited frameworks to start from. So, for instance, most people that launch ERC20s will use an Open Zeppelin boilerplate ERC20 contract. The vast majority of all ERC20s use that. You know, most people choose to use Solidity instead of Viper just because it's a more we already know where the bugs are in it because so much more money has been lost on it. So you just try and make choices that everyone else has already lost money on and then therefore become more secure. So for instance, let's talk about BSC. So BSC is a fork of Ethereum, started with no state. It's one of many forks of Ethereum. There's other ones like AVAX and Polygon, etc. And I guess it's just AVAX's C chain, but anyway, AVAX enough. And some of them have big problems. So like Polygon's having trouble getting rid of stale validators because they didn't think that game theory through of like, how do we get rid of a bad validator in a timely manner? And it just slows down their block production because every time it like rotates to one of these dead guys, it just sucks for a while. And then with BSC, they just like cheated. They just hid the fact that it was centralized by forcing the validator rotation and a lot of other validator mechanics to another chain which they control, which is the Binance chain, the BC chain. And so, you know, when we created our fork of basically Binance chain, we didn't want a lot of, and also there's problems that we found with the Parelia consensus that they use that like we could exploit if we wanted to, but we choose not to. It's just funny, like all these guys get hacked for billions of dollars. Like the Axie Infinity Bridge got hacked for, I don't know, $600 million. Binance's bridge just got hacked for $500 million. Then they shut the chain down. And I'm like, how do you guys just shut off the chain? You're not supposed to be able to do that. Solana's chain goes down all the time. Like I really prefer not to have these pitiful failures. Like if you can turn your chain off, it's not a good blockchain. You're not supposed to be able to turn it off.
But do we have any examples of EVM chains which are fast but don't have centralization? Because in Polygon, I know there's a whole debate about multisig, and in Binance chain is this debate about validators and the fact that they can actually pause it very quickly. So
well, you would
what
just have Ethereum. But I mean, even if you look at Ethereum, if you look at the validator setup in Ethereum right now, it's just like 4 guys. Like all the blocks get signed by like 4 guys. Kind of sucks, truthfully. So.
And so what you want to do with Pulse Chain is a faster ETH.
Well, yeah. I mean, so the important part, you're a developer, I'm a pseudo developer. So we care a lot about the shiny things, and we feel stronger if we understand the shiny things, and we want to understand the toolboxes better. But in the end users only give a shit about cost and mad gains. That's all they fucking care about. And they should care about security, but they don't. So I care about security, but they're stupid. They don't care about security. But they do care about costs and mad gains. And so the fork, the upgrade of Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake, this is probably our alarm for our call. Lol. Yeah, so the upgrade of Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake, it did not include some things that people thought it would include. So they thought it would include cheaper fees. Wrong. You do not get cheaper fees. They thought it would include higher throughput. Wrong. You do not get higher throughput. You just get miners getting paid less. Now they're called validators. They get paid a lot less. They don't blow up the environment. I like that. It's awesome. I think it's great. And so that, like, the core claim to fame for Pulse Chain is that you want cheaper fees, we can give you that. You want higher throughput, we can give you that. You want free new coins you might get rich on, we can give you that. And that's what people want. And that's what Pulse Chain gives. And the upgrade of Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake, it just removes negative externalities from the whole crypto ecosystem. It makes it easier for the price to go up. It's good for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And I also believe in just-in-time security. Like, if people start kicking doors down and being dicks about the number of validators, then there will be more validators, and it'll get fixed just in time.
So how do you fix that? Because like with Polygon and Binance, you have many issues, and they also want to have more throughput and lower fees and the mad gain coins.
I don't know why they want more throughput. Like, it's like the throughput's enough. The fees are cheap enough. Like,
well, compared to ETH, that's their claim to fame, to be cheaper and faster, and also have different coins that perform well, like you said, with getting the coins that moon. That's how Binance Chain became big, because many of these coins that mooned a lot, meme coins, were on Binance Chain, and Polygon the same.
Because it was just cheaper. It was just cheaper. You know, you want to launch a new coin. Like, do you want to pay a $30 penalty on every transaction when Ethereum was really busy? No, that sucks. Like, oh yeah, you can on-ramp users to your new ecosystem, but there's a $30 penalty for every single one of them.
So how do you achieve a similar result, but in a decentralized manner? And like you say, with just-in-time security, is that your different approach from Binance Chain, for example? What's your plan?
Well, originally, if you look on our testnet now, that's a Borrelia consensus Binance Chain fork with system state from Ethereum. It's been working fine for a very long time. But we know where the bugs are. And so it's not fine enough for us. And so we didn't really know whether the Ethereum guys would ever actually get the merge done, because they delay as hard as anybody. You know, software is a world of delays. There's no such thing as like software launched in time. I've never seen it. And I've never seen accurate estimates as when software be completed either. And I've never issued any. And I've never been issued any. So you couldn't rely on when the merge would actually happen. But once the merge actually did happen, then it made a lot of things useful and valid that were not valid and useful previously. So now you've got a lot of audits on the Ethereum merge staking consensus code stuff, much more so than you have on the Borrelia stuff. And so it's a superior consensus, and it supports more validators. Now, because people are stupid and they don't care about their own security and don't care about holding their own keys, give their keys to other people to like stake on their behalf, which is tragic. It could be the case because the ecosystem of people that participate and things that I talk about have been educated about the importance of holding your own keys, that we may just have a more broad validator pool. Or it may be the case that because our unit price is so much cheaper per coin, that it's so much more affordable to get 32 ETH, or in this case, Pulse. And so we changed our consensus network. So once the merge went through, it changed the game theory to us from let's like secure this consensus system that we have, which is the Parelia based one, which sucks, and switch it to the new ETH 2.0 one, which is better and got more audits. And when they upgrade Ethereum network, we get those upgrades. But if we're stuck on the Parelia one, when Ethereum 2 gets sharding, say, we wouldn't get sharding because we have a different consensus method. So like it was smarter for us to rotate and switch to the ETH 2.0 merged consensus. And so right now the devs are massaging in the 25% fee burn. And so you don't want to change the good math that the Ethereum guys have done, which we see is working in the real world now. You want to keep as much as that as you possibly can, but I want more burn. Because right now they're not burning dick. They're really just basically flat. And flat's okay. It's better than Bitcoin inflating at 1.89 or 1.27 or whatever it's at now. I think it's maybe 1.6. So like basically the devs are just, we're going to massage up the throughput a little bit, and we're going to massage up the gas a little bit, and it should be fine because we've got lower like load anyway. And then we're going to burn 25% of the fees net so that you have much more burn than Ethereum has. And then I'll feel very happy. Everyone gets their new coins, higher throughput, cheaper fees, valid and secure consensus network as audited as exists in the world, and that's where we're at. And the good thing is our code, because the merge it only changed, the merge offloaded certain parts of what Geth used to do to another EXE. And so like now when you're an ETH miner, you're a validator, you run two XEs, you run Geth and you run this other one. And so because it's isolated in that way, all of our code for like handling, injecting system state is still valid. So that's great. So this, you would think that it would like make it longer to market because you're switching to ETH 2.0, but it actually makes it shorter to market because those audits are done and that consensus network is working live. And
but so the testnet, which is live now, that's still
that's
fork
using
of
the old
Binance Chain.
That's still, yes, correct.
Right.
And
right.
the V3
And now,
testnet that you're going to see come up is going to be a fork of the real mainnet Ethereum.
Yeah, and there you will massage the throughput. You're gonna increase the burn of each fee.
Exactly. So we're gonna burn the 20. So whatever you would have received as a validator, we're gonna burn 25% of that. Now I need to make sure there's no little edge cases because it's a little bit complicated, all this stuff, right, with slashing and everything. So I just have to make sure there's no edge cases, but like the general theme of we're just going to burn 25% of whatever you would receive net, and that's going to reduce supply. It's pretty valid, and I hope we don't run any edge cases with it.
And what kind of improvement do you think it will be in comparison to ETH when it comes to
I would start at really minimalist with it. I mean, I would even be okay with not even, like, you should be able to do a 10% bump. You really should, because the network's less loaded anyway because there's less users on it. So you should be able to bump the gas 10% and lower the transaction block times 10%. And those two compound to like an 11% gain. Or no, like more than that. I think it's like a 21% gain. And so you'll have a 21% like higher throughput, but you'll have like infinitely lower costs because the majority of the lower cost comes from just having less users to start with. So, you know, this idea that you need to increase throughput and lower block times to get lower costs is a little silly when like 99% of your lower costs is from just having less users. If you had the same number of users, then those would matter a lot. But if you have like 10x or 100x less users, those numbers don't matter as much.
Yeah, but users come quickly. We saw it with
I hope.
Binance Chain, for example. They come very quickly. All the
Yep.
bots, as soon as people start trading, there's now infinite amount of arbitrage, and if it's low fees, then you can do it more efficiently, and you
Yep.
can act on more arbitrage. So the fees, as long as there is some activity and some trading.
Well, that's the thing is like I think that I think it almost might be so because of those things that you just said, it kind of defeats the idea that higher throughput equals lower fees. Because those ARB bots will just suck up the extra space,
Right.
making their ARBs a little bit more efficient. So like this idea that you're going to get lower fees with more space, you're like, yeah, a little, but the ARB bots fight it. Like they suck that space up with like stupid other stuff. Like right now, someone tried to knock off our community with like a copycat and of hacks, and they made it stupid. They just made it open to Sybil attack. They're like, get as many free coins as you want. Just ask for them. And then people just set up bots and ask for 1 trillion coins and dump them all the time. And you're like, cool, you got proof of bot. Good job. And now you made the network more expensive for everyone. And now you enrich the miners. Oh, and if the miners are mining and they want to roll and pay themselves the block reward, they can just mine as much as they want for free. Because they can just fill the transactions, the unused space with their own transactions. It's so stupid. Like proof of DDoSing the ETH network is stupid. It's bad for everybody.
Yeah, and that's why it seems that the consensus now is that sharding or layer twos is the way to scaling, where you can separate
I still think
markets.
layer 2 still suck balls. Like, is anyone really doing much on layer 2s? It's been years. Hex was the first actual layer 2 airdrop. We were the first people to actually use layer 2 for anything. And I think if you look at the ZK sync, if you look at the ZK sync contract, I think like the majority of coins in it is still Hex, except for ETH and stable. Nobody else uses it for anything.
And they are coming out with an EVM chain, I know, very soon. So that will basically
we failed on simple sends, so maybe we can make it up on more complicated stuff. I've never seen L2s work out. Now look, Uniswap just approved yesterday to launch Uniswap on Matterport or whatever it's called, Matter something, ZK. So like, I don't know. Are there users over there? I don't know.
I mean, but there's no choice, right? Because like we just concluded, on L1, block space is going to get eaten up quickly.
Well, Paul's chain is the choice. You have two options.
Because it's going to get into the same issue, right? You're going to have our bots eating up all the block space, so fees are not going to be fixed.
You're going to have this, yeah, but by that token, you'd have it on the L2s. I mean, look, I've just never seen the L2s take off, and we've seen the L1s take off like hell. Every single L1 is pumped hard as hell. All of them. Every single one.
and they're either slow and expensive like ETH, or they're centralized and they shut down like Solana and Binance Chain.
Yeah, but everyone
And
that bought the tokens got rich as shit. And that's what everyone
yeah,
really cares
yeah,
about
yeah.
anyway. So like, I mean, like
But
they
but
shut
you said,
Solana down all the time, but the people that got
I
in there
know,
got rich as
but
shit.
but didn't you say that you want to fix that? It's centralized. That
Well,
you want to
I
find the
believe that
best of both worlds.
well, sure, I believe Pulse Change fixes that in the best possible way. We're using the most secure software with the most users, with the most deployed projects, with the most audits, with the most uptime, that's never had an inflation bug. It's like, it's awesome. Like, so many people get this idea that like you have to do only fancy shiny stuff. And you're like, McDonald's doesn't do fancy shiny stuff. They open a copy and a paste of a good ass delicious thing in new places. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Is one McDonald's better than a McDonald's? No. Maybe one's got a ball pit. Cool. But like, it's just, horizontal scaling is amazing. If you run out of shirts, go buy a new shirt. You run out of underwear, go buy some new underwear. Hey, your car's not big enough, like, buy another car, buy a bigger car, whatever. Like, it's just, you don't need to like, I think people totally underestimate. Well, I think people underestimate the power of just straight retarded copy paste scaling. And this is basically straight retarded copy paste scaling with extra fee burn because we care about price. And it's awesome. And it's the least like screw ups, and it's the least like, oh look, something sucks and we didn't know about it. No, like it's genius. Simple, keep it simple, stupid is genius. And when you make things complex, you just increase the attack surface. When you experiment, you increase attack surface, and you run into new problems. And why? Why? So you have incompatibility with what everyone else is using. So for instance, I'll give you an example. This is a perfect, beautiful example. You're going to love this. Where have we seen the most money lost recently? Bridges.
Well, Luna, bridges, centralized lending.
Bridges by far. 600 million on Axie, 500 million on Binance. I think there was like $1.5 billion on Polygon, but they caught it before it was used. And I think there's some other bridges had failures. I don't even remember off the top of my head. So we've got billion plus in bridge failures. Why are people bridging their coins? Because their coins are here and they want to get them to there. Okay, Pulse Chain comes along. Guess what, homie? Your coins are already over here. You don't have to bridge over. They're already here. You can bridge over if you want, but you don't have to because your other coins are already here. It's genius. You completely like, you don't ever have to bridge unless you like really want to. But on these other networks, you have to bridge because you don't already have coins on the other side. And then it opens you to the thing.
Well, but it's like saying that your Bitcoin is on Bitcoin Cash. It is the same. I mean, it's the same coins, but it's not the same, right? It's a copy. How do you mean they're the same?
I would say it's different because we have a history of bridges and high usage on other networks that you did not have on BCH. People use Polygon. They use Binance Smart Chain. They use all these forks, and they come with the same value propositions. Like, you want to use Uniswap, there's Uniswap. We have PulseX, right? You want to use, and there's gonna be Uniswap too. It comes over. Like, all the contracts come over. Forking,
well, it solves the problem that if I want to experiment with the same coins but on Pulse, let's say I want to trade, I want to stake, I want to basically have that asset, a copy of that asset on Pulse, then yes, it makes, I don't have to bridge, but it's not like I'm bridging value.
Well,
I'm
that's the thing is it's like your
preloaded
value.
with coins that are
Well,
test coins from the beginning. You can think that there is worth zero, but then yeah, maybe they're gonna trade up in the markets.
Well, the Bitcoin coin doesn't have any utility. It's just a rock that sits there and you hope the price goes up. But EVM coins, they have a lot more utility. There's on-chain trading, there's options, there's time deposits, there's all this other stuff you can do with them. And so a fork of an Ethereum chain instantly has more utility than a fork of a Bitcoin chain. Because you bring your dumb rock over and you're like, oh, this dumb rock has less liquidity. Bad dumb rock. But then if you bridge Ethereum, like take a game that's priced out by gas on an Ethereum network. Now it's not priced out on gas anymore on the Pulse chain network instantly. Well, that's awesome. Now you can play, whereas you couldn't play before, you know? It's just, I don't want people to think that forks of dumb networks are similar to forks of smart networks. They're really different, and we have a history of every L1 kicking ass.
Yes,
And this is the world's largest airdrop. Like it's going to be a no-brainer.
I mean, the difference is that you can use all your things instantly.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
now you have double the amount of them. So
Yep.
it's how do you think
remember,
it will
there's
be
also
with
Pulse X.
trading, liquidity?
Well, I think in the beginning, until there's like tier 1 listings, you're going to do most of your like real value to the bank kind of stuff, bridging to Ethereum. And then once there's a stable coin on it or direct listings with exchanges, which I'm pretty sure will happen because, you know, one giant exchange says they want to, then you could do it just like you do your Ethereum trades, right? So like, for instance, if you use like Wire and MetaMask, like you can buy directly on Polygon. You don't need to go to you don't need to use Ethereum at all. You're like just buying Polygon direct, right? And then like there's other forks that have been listed, you know, on large exchanges. So in the beginning it would be bridges, but then once people like it, I think it will be direct listings.
What kind of projects do you think will launch on Pulse Chain to begin with?
There's already 130 of them, apparently. This is a chat room. See, people don't realize this. Like, I'm still a Richard Hart maximalist. So I invented Hex. I invented Pulse Chain. I invented Pulse X. Those things have ticker symbols. If you buy those ticker symbols, the prices go up. And then there's all these projects that launch on those things that I didn't invent. And if you buy those ticker symbols, well, the other ticker symbols don't go up. And it's just like Vitalik. So like Hex has on-ramped hundreds of thousands of users to the Ethereum network. Vitalik's never said a nice thing. Why? Because he's got big bags of ETH. He wants you to buy ETH. He owns ETH. He makes money. He dumps the top. He sold the top. He said $50 million worth to Coinbase and sold the top on your heads. And he's been selling for a long time, and so has the foundation. They dump on your head all the time. So they prefer the Ethereum price go up so they can dump on you. So like, they don't talk about other projects. They mostly talk about what they own that they will dump on you. And so like, I'm in a similar position, although I'm not, you know, I'm not known to dump anything that I've created. If people launch projects on Pulse Chain, usually they're nowhere near as good as the ones that I've invented. Sometimes they get people wrecked. And yeah, go ahead and have fun or whatever, like laissez-faire and all that, but I don't promote other people's coins because they get people wrecked. They don't have as mad gains, and they don't like pump the price of things that I like. So like, yeah, I know, there's a whole chat room of coins being launched on Pulse Chain, and people are just sticking the name Pulse in stuff that has nothing to do with Pulse Chain, just because it tends to be successful. They just shove the word Pulse in anything. And then they launch it on BSC, and you're like, what is this shit? What does this have to do with my projects? What is this crap? And then so like, it's crazy to me. Like if some portion of my community fell for this like vampire attack crap, where like someone's like, oh, it's similar to Hex, and then the price chart's just like straight down and down and down and only down. And you're like, look, guys, when you can just mint something for free forever, it just goes down forever because supply and demand. It's so stupid. Like, and I can't protect them, right? Because I already don't promote the stuff. I already don't follow the dum-dums that do, for the most part. And then, like, the people still get themselves wrecked. I'm just like, you guys are so stupid.
Yeah, but you need projects to launch on Hack and on Pulse in order for that to be
well, yeah,
active.
and they are. I just don't promote them. So if you want to go and find if you want to go on Telegram and go find that channel of Pulse Chain projects, like some guy wrote an article about it. There's like apparently 130 of them. And then like once people see it works and it's awesome, you're probably going to see a lot more. Because like we don't need anyone's permission. Like, so all anyone cares about is ticker symbols and prices and trading. That's all anyone really gives a shit about. Well, guess what, guys? We got your ticker symbols, we got your trading, and we got bridges that give prices. So we don't care, like, like whether you want it to happen or not, your ticker symbol's getting traded on Pulse. Wah, wah, wah. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you like Pulse Chain. Whatever your ticker symbol is on this Ethereum, unless you've got an admin key to invalidate all the coins, it's getting traded on Pulse Chain. And so people would be able to trade faster, cheaper, with probably higher volatility because probably lower liquidity. And therefore, like, a lot of people are going to want that. I mean, that's what leverage is, right? Do you like leverage trading? Okay. Why? Because the prices move around more? Oh, cool. Well, that's what Pulse Chain is. Pulse Chain is basically like a giant leverage trade on Ethereum with the world's largest free airdrop, with the same code, with the same tickers. You're like, I can't wait.
But what's the difference between that and what happened with Ethereum proof of work, where it's also the same, right? You get all your coins as a copy.
It's similar. I think the problem they had is that they didn't work on the trading part. So there was like, it just, look, we've had Pulse Chain testnet working for like a year, and a lot of trades and a lot of people use it. And they didn't have that year of like pre-work done. And so when they launched, just like a lot of stuff was broken. And look, I've never used it, so I'm not an expert on it. But like, if you don't have the trading working, it's a big deal. Because if you don't have a bridge, it's a big deal. Because if you don't have a bridge, you don't have trading, you just have to suck middleman D at the centralized exchange to get in and out of it, which sucks. Like, nobody likes that. Let me go dox myself, and then you steal my coins from me. Cool. Thanks for stealing my privacy and my coins. So like, I think that would have been their only problem. Well, and also look, there's the risk that they just get 51% attacked at will. And that's the reason I haven't told anyone about it, because like, what is the chance that they just get 51% attacked, and that all and they get rolled back, and all the transactions, all the money that you thought you got, you didn't get, it just got reversed. Someone could be stealth mining a parallel chain and then dump it and roll you back like a couple days of transactions, and you're like, oh, I forgot about low hash rate proof of work chains, that this was the thing, because I've been living in glorious Ethereum land. But it is a thing. So, because I can't stick a number as to the likelihood of someone rolling back some large number of transactions on the proof of work network, I don't feel safe with it.
What do you mean when you say that you work on trading that ETH proof of work didn't do? You mentioned the bridge, that you can bridge assets.
Well, if you don't
else?
have a bridge and you don't have a Uniswap with liquidity, then it makes all these ticker symbols pretty useless, because what are you going to do with them? But if you do have a bridge and you do have liquidity, then it makes the ticker symbols fun to play with, because then you can like cash out to Ethereum. You're like, yo, I dumped my free coins or whatever. Like, but if you can't, if you can't trade or bridge, it's pretty useless, because it's all anyone cares about is trading and bridging. Until you get direct
that's
listings.
very important, that you can. So when Pulse Chain launches, all the liquidity pools from ETH will be the same, because the state is the same. And
but then you need a new liquidity pool, which is the bridge between the Ethereum and whatever the popular coins are on Pulse.
Yes. And so how will that work?
Oh,
because
nice try, FBI.
everyone,
Nice try, FBI.
Everyone will everyone will want to cash out USDC to fiat.
There's an incentive token that if you want to be one of those people that, takes those trades, you're more than incentivized to do so. This is one of those like Securities and Exchange Commissions I can't answer questions.
Okay.
Proof of, expectation of profit from the work of others can't help you.
Yeah.
But I
that's
think
in general.
Have you ever seen a successful L2 not have a bridge and not have liquidity? No, they have it. Like, it happens. So it's very likely to happen here. Yeah.
And that's good, because that's what has been on my mind. Because let's say we have all of the prices, all the trading on Pulse. How do you get to fiat? But yeah, there's probably gonna be a bridge.
You bridge to Ethereum and you dump on your local exchange. Yep.
Yes. Well, you bridge to Ethereum, and what token do you like? What do I
anyone
bridge?
You want? So you let's say you got your chain link copy. So you got your link on the Pulse Chain network. You dump it for, let's say, Hex, and then you dump your Hex for bridged in Ethereum, and then you bridge it back and you dump your Ethereum. So there's probably going to be a ton of liquidity in like the Ethereum Pulse Chain pair, probably.
But bridge normally is that you take something from one side and then it turns up on the. But here you have like two copies, right?
So, you're gonna trade. You're gonna trade for the Ethereum that's been bridged in.
Okay.
And then you're gonna unbridge it.
So there is gonna be. Oh yeah, because ETH copies are Pulse. So they're not ETH, they're Pulse, and then ETH will be the bridged ETH.
Yes.
Which is the
bridge in Ethereum to Pulse Chain, and it becomes PETH. Or it becomes like I think it becomes ETH, but we're really just dropping the E's and just making it ETH, because that's kind of like the standard naming convention across all of these EVM forks, is that they just call ETH. So like send me BTC on what network? Send me ETH on what network? That's the thing that we live in crypto now, because you have ETH on so many networks. You have BTC on so many networks. And so Pulse Chain is going to be another one of those networks. So it's just going to be called ETH. So like Link on Pulse Chain is just going to be called Link. But it's a little bit different because you've got your native forked, you got it for free Link, and then you've got your bridged Link. So we do need maybe some letter. And so I think the bridged in Link is going to be called E-Link. And the bridged in ETH is going to be called ETH. And then the native stuff you got for free is just going to be called Link. And just going to be called,
Yeah,
Pulse.
and the bridges will also incentivize liquidity and trading on Pulse because of arbitrage. Because I know I can always, if ETH is not the same price as ETH, it's an opportunity.
And a whole leverage thing, like having the same coins with the same code, with the same tickers, with the same software, with lower fees and higher throughput, and you got them for free. It's a hell of a value case. It's a hell of a value statement. I mean, it's a dream. It's a great. Imagine you just got a free car, like a copy of your car. You're like, oh, cool. Drives, kick ass. New car, free. Great, like awesome.
I don't know if I like that compare, but almost, yes. It's you get a free
bicycle.
You get a free
bicycle.
I mean, the only yeah, maybe you had the car and then you get a bicycle. That I like that more because yeah, that feels more accurate. You have a car and maybe you get a skateboard. Yeah, but it's better than zero, especially if the liquidity is there and there is. I mean, as long as people like this concept and they want to trade, and someone thinks that it makes sense, so they add liquidity and. Yeah, I mean, it's
you arrive at this question that, like, if the code's the same and the ticker's the same and the consensus has the same security,
yeah,
then really it's just a price game. And it's like, which one do you think will go up more? The one that's $1,500 or the one that's a lot less? And you're like, maybe the one that's a lot less, because at some point, literally, what is the difference between Pulse Chain and Ethereum? Once they've got some users, we have more burn, and otherwise it's the exact same code. And so now you can choose to pay more, or you can choose to pay less. It's the exact same code. Exact. Now the networks will diverge, and so that may have some effect, right? But like, I don't because of bridges, because you can't maintain any upside, really. Like Ethereum could run away from Bitcoin Cash, right? Because it's just a liquidity game. But like, if you get the same code and the same tickers and you have bridges and Ethereum like upgrades and gets better, well, because of the bridges, we kind of are better because you can just bridge, and we get those upgrades as well because it's the same code. Like it's really neat. Like, I think it's the most valuable form of horizontal scaling I can think of. And it's desperately needed. People are getting murdered by fees every day. And the only thing coming to save them anytime soon is this. Because sharding, you're not going to see for a long time, if ever.
And we mentioned that bridges are the number one issue when it comes to tax. So
Yep.
how is it
We're
going to be
just
different?
we're just using the same bridge that a lot of other people are using that hasn't been hacked and has good audits. So it's like, I don't know why everyone else chose to use bridges that weren't well audited, and they're just stupid.
So which
Like,
ones are
I
good
believe
open
it's called
source?
Token Bridge. I mean, I don't have the repo open, but I believe
Okay.
it's just called Token Bridge. I think XDAI uses it, but you can check it. It's got a ton of audits.
Yeah.
If you go on the Pulse Chain repos, you can like read about it. But like, none of the stuff that we're doing is like, oh, surprise, here's some unaudited crap that's going to get the heck, hacked out of it. Like, and people choose to do that all the time. Like, it's insane to me. I don't get it. We have audited software that hasn't been hacked. Use that. Why are you using this other stupid stuff? Don't know. Dum-dums.
When it comes to, I mean, there's got to be a lot of interest from centralized exchanges. Is that
I
something
mean,
that,
like OKX wants to list it. Um, and I'm sure other exchanges want to list it too. They just want to see it in the real world. And especially in the bear market. During the bear market, these guys are laying off staff left and right, doing
yes.
anything they can to generate volume because they're losing money every day. They're not making money, they're losing money. And that's another thing people don't understand about Hex. There's no building, there's no counterparty, there's no marketing department, there's no overhead. And so it's just more efficient. You don't have these negative externalities of a bunch of mouths to feed, like this building full of devs, like Zcash, building full of 80 devs. Every day they dump the price. Every day you're like, great. There's a building of guys that dump the price every day. That sucks. And they never buy, they just sell. So it's, in the bear market, you really see, like you said, with the interest, Hex is actually doing better than other things. It's still up 500x, And the other funny thing is, like, a lot of people don't understand the math of this. Okay, so here's how you give every person in the crypto market a heart attack. Just buy $1 billion of their stuff and then sell it the next candle, and don't give anyone a chance to harvest it. And then everyone's going to have a heart attack, and they're going to point to the chart and they're going to go, it's down 99%. And you're like, yeah, because someone wicked it up and wicked it back down. Who cares? It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. What matters is, where did you buy at? And where could you sell at? And is the majority of people up? How much space is there down there back in the past at way lower prices? And it's like, this people that just measure top down in crypto are so stupid, because you ignore the vast majority of the chart, which is up. Like, oh, Bitcoin's down 75%. Yeah, but it's also up 100 million%. So you're only looking at like one half of the equation, which is why it's so important to look at the chart on log scale. You have to look at log scale. If you don't look at log scale, the entire past gets compressed into a single line, which is useless. And it just looks like a panic chart. But if you lose log scale, it's a realistic chart. It means that like every doubling takes the same space. Oh, we doubled here, it took that much space. We doubled back there, it took that much space. Same space. Smart. Look, every double takes the same space. But on non-log, it's always a vertical line and then a flat line. It's just an L. Oh, great! All the charts are L's now, useless. And I have to train people in the real world to click log. They don't even know. They don't even know you have to do it. Like you have to click log, or you have no ability to visually reason about this math. So I want people to know that top-down measurements will get you to ignore massive gains. Dogecoin's up massively while being down massively. Hex is up massively while being down massively. Bitcoin's up massively. Ethereum's up massively while being down. And it's these idiots that buy the top and sell the bottom that don't get to participate in the next move that goes up so much higher, you know? Like imagine you could get something that goes up a ton, right? Like 10,000x, and then you could buy it at a 90% discount sometimes. You win twice. You're getting the best performing asset for a 90% discount. That's way better than having to pay full price. You're never gonna get a Rolls Royce at 90% off, or like 10 rolls for the price of one. But you can get, Hex at 90% off, or maybe Ethereum at 90% off. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ethereum at 90% down, by the way. Like, I wouldn't be surprised with $5,000 Ethereum, $500.
500. So,
It
how
wouldn't
do you
surprise
think?
me, no.
How do you think Hex has changed in terms of perception? Because at the beginning, most people in the industry said it's scam, but then all
Yeah.
DeFi did basically, because I think what many people underestimated is the simple idea of, you lock up tokens, you get more tokens. It's so simple. But then the whole DeFi did the same. It was called yield
Yeah.
farming, and suddenly it was
Yeah.
legit when Hex did it in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
And but now people, I mean, I've seen a lot of people backtrack or warm up. So how do you feel it
And
has
the
changed?
funny thing is, it's like Bitcoin did it in the beginning. You buy mining hardware, you get yield. It's the same shit. And then Bitcoin just copied lockups in the stocks. You have a vesting period in stocks. And then stocks just copied time deposits at the bank. And like, it just monetizing time makes sense and it's intelligent. Just people are too stupid to see it's just a proof of work change. It's proof of weight instead of proof of blow up the environment. So like I still so shocked by people that call it a scam. And I'm just like, dude, it's Bitcoin with a proof of work change. That's it. That's all it is. And people are like, and the funniest thing is Ethereum, because now Ethereum does the very same thing, right? Lock up your Ethereum and you get more Ethereum. Okay, but the interest rates just suck balls.
But
It's the same thing, except your interest rate sucks.
And so in the beginning you said that Hex is still early because no big exchanges have it and it's not on CoinMarketCap properly.
Yep.
So is that turning around now that Hex is still here while a lot of this yield harvest things are not here? And so
I don't think it is. I don't think it is turning around. I mean, we keep getting more users. We keep getting longer lockup periods. Our everything that makes Hex great is getting better, but the stupid centralized scumbags that are bad at their jobs, they're not getting better. So con market crap still does not list Hex properly because they're bad at their job, and they should cry at night, every night. They're horrible. They've promoted tons of rug pulls and scams on their homepage while depriving people of the thing that could have saved them and sticking on page 3. So all those guys should smash their balls at night with a hammer for contrition, scumbags. And all these centralized exchanges, it's the same thing. Oh, you scumbags listed Luna that went to zero. You listed Celsius that is now bankrupt. What kind of scumbags are you people? You could have listed the thing that could have saved these people. It's pure horror. Like, they're just scumbags. I hate all these centralized scum. So, like, Hex is doing great. Hexkins are doing great. You know, there's even a movie been made about me. It's complete. It's finished. They're doing a 40-piece orchestra now as we speak today. That's the last part. Ping, 40-piece orchestra. That's coming out soon, like end of the year. It's finished. Like, it couldn't be more done. So, like, we're doing great. Our team's doing great. These centralized guys are sucking balls. So, how's the coin IPO going? Never even pumped. Only went down, straight down forever. No pump. Only down 95%. Sorry, you guys that bought that, idiots. I called the top on the day. Like, anyone that's wrecked after I called the top on the day, you're just like, what can I do for you? I guess wait for I call the bottom. Which, hey, they stop raising interest rates. Could be anytime soon. You know? As soon as they stop raising interest rates, we're going to the moon. It's that easy. But it needs to be like a real stop, not like a pause.
Yeah, let's get back to that. We have Enchanted in the chat saying, is there any plans to show the new version of Pulse by the end of the year so community can write docs on the technicals for onboarding?
Asking Richard about timing. You can forget about timing questions, bro. So forget about it. It's done when it's done.
It's done.
It's ready when it's ready. Yeah, I forwarded to the community one time when the devs told me about timing, and I will never do it again. Because I got savaged because I just truthfully forwarded what the devs told me. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm getting savaged now. That'll be the last time I do that. It's done when it's done.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what Ted DeFi says. Kageya, shout out to you. Richard Hart is the GOAT.
You missed the one that guy said you were his idol. You missed it.
It's Kageyan.
Not gonna...
I gave him a shout out.
Oh, right.
It's Kageyan. He's NFT YouTuber. Go check him out. Then we have some super sticker. But yeah, let's.
I will not send
to...
my users to JPEG photos for money. No, once I launch them. Until I turn the hex.com diamond, the world's largest diamond, into an NFT, I'm not forwarding people NFTs. And I hope they go to zero soon. Sorry, guys. I want the bear market to be over. I want to see Rolexes on store shelves. I want to see NFTs at zero. And I want to see some of these companies go bankrupt. And then let's go back up. But all y'all got to get washed out. Sorry. You bought scams.
Yeah, but NFTs on Pulse are still going to be net positive for Pulse.
Oh, I take it back.
People
You're
are
getting
trading...
a free copy of your valuable NFTs on Pulse. Sorry, they're awesome, world-changing innovation. Enjoy your free NFTs on Pulse.
Yeah,
it sucks
I mean,
that
if games are building, if people are excited, it's gonna be net positive anyway.
Yeah. Nobody wants to pay $1 trillion to mint their NFTs, dude. It sucks. It's just negative externalities. Nobody wants to do it. It sucks.
If Richard wasn't going to launch the Pulse chain, he wouldn't be here right now.
Hey, of all the people in the world that want Pulse to launch, this guy wants it. I want it.
And so, yeah, let's talk about the interest rates, because I think lately we've seen some interesting developments with Bank of England kind of into step.
They just fired that guy. They just fired their head of the exchequer, dude. They just fired him. He was like the black dude. Can't remember his name. Had a K in his name.
Uh-huh.
Fired that dude today. Apparently the UK is run by comedians. It's hilarious to me, that place, dude. You
Yeah,
don't even
they
have like Fifth Amendment rights
decreased corporate tax today. They increased it again, but so they
there.
changed their
Inflation? Oh, we got inflation. Tax cuts. What?
yeah, and now tax raises.
What? They gave the rich a tax break and they didn't give the poor anything. I'm like, are you guys retarded? What's wrong with you people? You're the worst government ever. What? The poor people need breaks, man. The rich people are still okay. God dang. But now there's so many stabbings, you can't even go there. Apparently, there's a video of somebody breaking a dude's Bugatti window while he's driving it with a hammer, trying to get his watch off his hand. Holy crap. I gotta Google that, see if that's true.
So you don't sense the signal from the central banks that
You're
their
not getting a pivot
interest
yet, bro.
rates
Is
are
inflation over yet? No, you're not getting a pivot. You're getting higher interest rates. It means number go down for everything. I called the wristwatch top on the day too. I'm just Googling this Bugatti thing. Yep. Wow. Hammer wielding moped rider smashes $4 million Bugatti Chiron in attempt to steal Rolex. August 22nd, 2022. Keep it. I'm not going there. Sorry, guys.
You said that you moved to Europe from Florida because of crime,
Mm-hmm. True.
and now you're back to the
I'm not in
US.
Florida. Nope. I did. I went for a while, installed some toilets for my mom.
You fix your. I saw that on Twitter.
Yep. Took 30 minutes to install a bidet for my mom. Installed two. I only taped one of them. And yeah, I'm not going back. I got pulled over by the police for shopping inside Best Buy. I bought so much stuff they thought I was doing credit card fraud. The Best Buy called the police on me. Police came in the store and interrogated me. Keep it. Fuck you guys. I'm out. Sayonara. I'm not for that, bro. I'm not getting pulled over shopping. Nope. Never had that once in my life. My whole life, never had it. I'm out. Keep it. You see videos. Like I put a like on a video today. This guy was just videotaping the cops. The other cops like, go arrest him. And the guy's like, for what? Obstructing the road. The guy's like a million miles from the road. Oh yeah, they fired that cop, but not until they beat this dude down, pepper sprayed his face, took him to jail, you know? Like, there's just so many videos of cops savaging people in the States. Some guy was like eating a cheeseburger in his car. Cop just opens the door of the car and is like, get out. And the guy goes to put it in park and it like rolls a little bit. So the cop takes his gun out and just starts firing into the car.
I think I saw that.
And you're like, bro, you just basically got the death sentence for eating Wendy's. Wrecked. So like I don't have any interest in any of that shit. You guys can keep all that, man. I'm not playing the Wild West, dude. I had enough Wild West with my time, bro. Like, I'm good. I don't feel like wearing a vest. I don't feel like carrying a piece. Like, I mean, it's like basically this documentary is probably gonna make it. So I gotta roll 5 deep security anyway. But my security doesn't have to get shot. So better.
You have become more public during the past 2 years. You
Yeah.
were very unknown in the past.
Yep. Yep. And sometimes I think I should go back. Sometimes I think, you know what? I don't need to do all this shit. I could just like chill on an island. But I hate islands. I'm super social, so like the chill option is not available to me. But it's sometimes irritating with fans are like up in your grill, like forcing videos on you, and you're like, okay, man, like trying to be cool, but damn, it's too many of you guys. Like, I want to enjoy my life a little bit. I don't want to have the same conversation 85 times today, you know? It's gonna get, man, once the documentary comes out, I'm not even gonna be able to be in public, pretty much. Like, is my guess. Imagine if you were the Tiger King. You can't just walk around the street, bro. I'm taking
So,
selfie with you.
where
I'm
is
gonna
it gonna?
irritate you. If I
How,
meet Tiger King, I'm gonna bother his day. You know what I mean? And if I'm doing it, anybody's doing it.
so where is it gonna be documentary? Because
Well, it
I've
depends on who buys it, right? Like you got them filming company, the streaming companies got to pay for it. So like, it's not the guys that made it; they put money into it, so they want to make money. So whoever like's gonna buy it's got to pay. And so they got a sales agent, and they're pitching it around and stuff. It's a good sales agent, and they've sold stuff of similar content to big companies. So I just don't have anything to do with it, right? Like, I'm isolated from all that.
I hope it's
I mean,
not.
look,
I hope it's Netflix and not Amazon. I mean, always I open it's
yeah,
a lot of like low quality, but Netflix
I want people to
would be the
see
thing.
it. I think it's whatever platform is going to promote it the most. But if it's a Netflix original, cool. But if as long as it gets views, cool. It's out of my control. Like, I can't. Nothing I can do about it. But these guys are smart, man. They're Emmy Award winning. So like, if you've seen the previews, they're really good. I mean, I've seen the whole film. It's good, man. And I got high standards. And having me in a movie sucks because I suck. But like, the movie's still amazing. So like, these guys did a great job. Hey, look, fat old guy spends his money. No, that wouldn't make a good film. So these guys did a great job not making it that movie.
Yeah, and how is your weight loss? I remember you posted
Oh
a
my
lot about.
God. Is that the kind of stream it is? We're just gonna stab me in the heart right here.
No, no, no.
Weight loss.
I have
None.
the same problem. I
Fuck.
have the same problem. I thought we could share some strategies.
So I cut out caffeine yesterday because like I forgot that it was bad for me.
That's a good
shit.
streak, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yo, because I used to tweet about it. I'm like, yo, I'm so glad I cut out caffeine. I used to have existential dread. I would always feel like I'm not doing enough and nothing would be good enough. And I would just be in horror all the time. And then like somehow I started drinking caffeine again. I just never noticed. And then one day I'm like, wait a second, you son of a bitch. I cut you out once already. What are you doing back in here? And it's like you if you like get on caffeine, you need it to be alive. But if you get off it, you just default to alive. You wake up good. You're like, yeah, feeling great. You don't need that shit. You only need it because you keep taking it. So like, I got rid of that, and I got to tell you, a little bit sleepy lately. Woke up with a headache today. What the fuck is this headache? I didn't drink anything. Cut out alcohol. No more alcohol. Done with that shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If
That's
a
a big
girl
one.
makes me do it, if I have to do it to get laid, I'll do it. But man, I'm doing everything I can to minimize it. Okay. But if a chick is only gonna mess around with me if I do drink, okay, my dick's more important than my liver. Fine, I'll drink. But like it, but I'm doing everything. Like I didn't drink nothing last night. I just almost drink nothing all the time forever, and no energy drinks, no Coca Colas. You know, I had like a little bit of Coca Cola because I woke up with a stupid headache, so I had like half of a little one. Well, so I'm trying to do the healthy thing, and I'm working out again. And I'm hanging out with some dudes that are real jacked, super jacked dudes, and so like they're working out all the time, and then like they're always like, "Yo, dude, you gotta come work out. You gotta come work out." I'm like, "All right, I'll come work out."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So look, I mean, I don't have the results yet, but I've kicked this stuff before, and when I kick it, it lasts years. So like, you know, I've kicked caffeine and alcohol before, and they were gone for years. Not exactly sure how they came back in, because I didn't write it down. Like, oh, I'm back to screwing up. Cool. And then the working out, yeah. And I got some other like I got some cool in real life stuff that I'll talk about once like more contracts are signed. But I'm gonna flex IRL. Like I'm gonna have like something cool in the real world. You can be like, yeah, that's my real world cool thing. What's up?
What
It's
is
gonna be
that?
neat. I
Like,
can't like imagine you were like a 10-year-old and you could like just do a rich 10-year-old and you're like, I want to build this. Like something like that. I'm gonna build something like that. I mean, it's gonna be a Richard Hart museum. And so I don't know whether I'm sticking the world's largest diamond in there, or the 10-minute Rolexes, or purse collection, because girls like purses and I like purses. Rather, let me phrase that. Girls like purses and I like girls. So if any of you ladies out there are interested in seeing Richard Hart's purse collection, this right here is the most sparkly purse you're ever going to see. I can literally see the colors kicking off of that camera right there. Come see Richard Hart. I know you love these things, and I have them many, many. What a fucked up life, dude. You're like, yo, I made it. Time to show some ladies goods. Like, doing what works, man. It's not pretty, bro. No one wants to see how the sausage is made. It tastes good.
sausage of
Real
community of.
sausage. Like real sausages. Nobody wants to know how they're made. It's gross. You take
Yeah,
like
I
a
know,
pig's
I know.
intestine and you fill it with like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
who the fuck knows what goes in there. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a in real life hard flex like, oh, you're that guy.
But do you
Nice.
like flexing, or it's a strategy? Because I know you discussed
Just
it
trying to
all the
get
time,
just
and
trying to get laid, bro. Just trying to get laid. That's it. Like I'm fat, I'm old, okay? So I wear shinier crap and I try and flex harder socially, build my social value. What else am I gonna do? Like stop being a blob. I guess that would help. But like, you know, working on it takes time, super hard. Buying stuff's a lot easier than working out every time, like consistently. Unless you're used to it. And then it's like autopilot. I'm the most truthful person in crypto, I
you
think.
shaved.
You know why? This started getting white. So the beard made me look old, and then this white made me look even older. And so people used to make fun of me in the club for being fat. Now they make fun of me for being old. I'm like, I can fix that old thing, man. Shh, minus 10 years. Thank you. Good. I'm 30. Terrible, dude. Uh, some chicks have daddy's issues, some do not. And the ones do not, they do not care. They're like, oh, look, the old man's dressed well. Next. They don't care.
So you have someone you're pursuing, or it's free
No,
for
just
all,
like
or
run up the high score, you know? I'm glad they don't watch my streams. Because, like, no, I mean, there's one girl I like. She's cool. But, like, one's not enough. Like, it's just not. So, they got to be down for the team play or just down to let me
yeah.
do what I
What's your
want.
roadmap? What's your roadmap for that? Uh, do you want to have kids? Do you want to?
I mean, it wouldn't. I like practicing to have kids, but actually having them, they're noisy, they're stinky, they lock you in one spot. Like, until you get changed and have them, they suck. Once you have them and they're yours, then you change and you think they're awesome, and then they are. So it's this weird thing where, like, they change you and then you like them, you know? It's like no one ever thought they'd like golf until then they do like golf, and you're like, I guess you changed. You know, I don't like golf. Hope I never do, but it happens to some people. There should be like a hotline to call. Golf rehab. I it's like kind of like Elon Musk, right? Like, if I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna have kids, then like, why not just have like 100?
100. Yeah.
Like, why
He's
not?
fixing depopulation,
Yeah, like,
under performance.
you like rich genius, come to me. I have it, a lot of it. We can work together, synergy, you know, like. But basically it's just like asset management. Like, I probably would have a ton of kids if I wasn't worried about just losing all of my wealth over it. So I think if you live in another country, like if you go African warlord with it, you can just have as many kids as you want. But if you live in like the West, you're just nuked on kids, like annihilated. Like, the amount of money to raise the kid has no relationship to the amount of money they bill you has no relationship to the amount of money it costs to take care of the kid.
Who bills you?
This government. So, like, they can hit you for child support. Like, I hear stories where like a dude will get hit for child support and then lose his job, and they don't care that you lost your job. They want you to pay the same anyways, though it never happened. And so if you have
Well,
the
yeah,
misfortune of having
but
a
that's not European.
divorce,
That's American. I think
I
it's
have to look
very
into that.
unusual. Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, in
okay.
Sweden, it's not at all like that. I think. I mean,
All
I read some
right.
articles where some
Let's
ladies,
go.
they
Tell
watch
me
too
about it,
much.
bro. I'm
Well,
ready.
I read in Sweden here they watch too much like American television, and they thought it would work like this in Sweden. But no, here it's that woman or man, it's individuals, and it's not.
Stockholm,
There is not
Richard Hart,
this.
coming to see you.
Next stop, yes. We have Enchanted again asking about consensus, and if I want to be a validator, can I delegate, or I need?
It's different now. So you're not, the delegation stuff, while awesome, it has some upsides because it removes that having to have 32 ETH thing, and like having to give some keys to somebody else, and like having to run a server and all that stuff. We're not going to have that now. And there's probably some guys that like were set up servers and ready to do that just, they're going to have to find something else to do with that hardware right now, because we're going to use the same consensus method that Ethereum 2.0 uses currently. So it's just better.
Yeah, and in ETH you have I don't remember what it's called, but you have these contracts that can pull together ETH and they can
Yeah,
stay there.
if people are smart, they can buy down the central counterparty risk using those methods you're talking about. But look, I'm not an expert on those, so I don't know whether they're really fake decentralized or real decentralized, you know. I hope they're really decentralized, but I've seen so much fake garbage in crypto that I'd have to look specifically into it. I want to get to market, right? Like I don't want to dick around with like changing parameters or adding features. I want to get to market. Like even if we get to market without massaging the gas and the block timing, they're so easy. I think we can just do that. But if they weren't easy, I would just go straight copy and fix it later. Straight copy, fix it later. Let's go. Get to market. Let's go. Free coins. Free coins. Cheaper. Let's go. Free coins and cheaper is enough. Faster, great if you have it, but it's not mandatory. Like,
An interesting question in chat about live extension, because there is this guy that did the foundation, the Sense Foundation. I did read that he got removed. Is he still working on?
I'm just showing off my watch to your audience.
I see that.
$250,000 watch there, homies. Even after the dip. Booyah.
But so are people? I mean, people are expected to. Well, how does that work? So you watch. People are pumped. They wanna follow. They wanna. How does that work? Maybe I should get watch.
Why the hell isn't it zooming? Zoom on the stuff in the background, you stupid camera. What are you doing? Anyway. The watch dip is going to happen as long as the crypto and stock dips are happening. Like interest rate goes up, money's more expensive, everything priced in money goes higher or lower rather. Sorry. As far as the Sense Foundation goes, yeah, he got Me Too movement, even though I think it's a scam. I don't think he did the stuff that they say he did. And even if he did the stuff they say he did, I don't think it's a problem. Like, how are people supposed to get married? Like, how are you supposed to find a wife? By never, ever talking to anybody that you work with? Does it make sense? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Like, shouldn't people that work together also end up banging and making kids? Like, that seems reasonable. That's how it's been for, the entire history of mankind. So, like, this idea that, like, yeah, you can, like, try and hook up with people absolutely anywhere except where you work. That shit seems weird to me. It seems actually gross to me. Like, now I also don't have any girl employees, so it's less of a threat in my organization. I don't even have an organization, but you get the idea. So yeah, like he got yanked, but as long as the same people get the same money and they do the same research, I'm cool with it. I have to go and actually see what they did with the money. I haven't done that yet. Raised $27 million for charity. Don't know what they did with the money yet. Hopefully they spent it on good stuff. If they just sat on it, I'm gonna be pissed. But I didn't look.
Yeah.
So when Pulse Chain comes out, like after Pulse Chain comes out, I get some of my glory items done. You know, my flex, like look how cool I am. Please have sex with me stuff. Then I'm gonna switch into the longevity stuff, or die. Like those are my options, right? Like I can either fix aging stuff or just die. And a lot of people, like I was gonna go through my Rolodex and like call some people I used to work with. They're just dead. Like, damn, they didn't survive. You know, it's crazy.
write your book straight, right?
Well, it's done.
Self-improvement.
Like Sci-Vibe is done.
Sci-fi,
Like,
sci-fi.
yeah, you could watch it for free. And like, I never printed it and published it, which I really should, considering that I probably have the resources to make that happen. Um, yeah, but there's like already audiobooks of it. You just go on YouTube and like search Scivive, SCIVIVE, and like listen to the audiobooks. They're good. It's really good books, really good info. Could change your life, could save your life. So it's that good.
Yeah, I mean, I read it. I thought it was very good. Everything
No
from
shit.
big things to small
Wow.
things. How to use the toilet. And how to-
You hear that? I went on tech, actually read my self-help book and said it was great. And yes, you will learn how to use the toilet.
and how to use it efficiently.
It's true. It really will. It will help you go to the
From
bathroom
big-
better. You get
Let's-
laid, paid. It has all the things.
But let's go back to that bottom. Say interest rates gonna keep going up, but there's gotta. I mean, they will. They are committed. They say on all fronts. The Bank of
Yeah.
England guy is fired who wanted to ease and.
I think his
yeah.
name was Kawang. I think his last name was Kawang.
Right, but at some point, things are gonna start breaking. Already, all of these other currencies are breaking because US dollar is too strong. UN is begging them to stop. Not that they're gonna listen probably, but at some point, things are gonna start breaking even within the US economy, right? So when do you think they will have to stop? Even if inflation, let's say inflation is going up in 5 years or 3 years, at some point there's some condition for stopping even when inflation is going up.
So the dude's name was Kwasi Kwarteng, and he was the finance minister. He's fired. He wasn't the exchequer. The Federal Reserve Board has two mandates. They call it the dual mandate. One, try and make sure everybody's got a job. Two, try and make inflation 2%. That's it. They screwed up the inflation one badly, but they didn't screw up the job one that bad. So what they're going to do is screw up the job one a little bit to buy down the inflation one. And so they're going to raise interest rates, wreck all the markets, get everyone unemployed. That should pull down the inflation a bit, but then that's going to screw up the jobs. And then they're probably going to turn the money printer back on to fix the jobs and then ruin the inflation again. And then just oscillate, breaking one and then the other. That's my prediction. So, they'll probably raise rates to double what they are now if you believe what the survey of people on the board think will happen. And then they'll stop and they'll turn the money printer back on and devalue the dollar into oblivion, as it is destined to go near zero, as all fiat currencies have done. So, I mean, as an American living outside America, having the dollar go up in value massively is awesome. I love it. Everything's on sale for me. Sorry, people that live where I live. Haha, wrecked.
Yeah, my biggest gainer is USDT. I opened my altcoin portfolio. USDT plus 25%. Everything else.
Kick
So
ass, man.
that all stable coins were the best. But I mean, that's why for me, when they raise a lot, it's almost bullish because it means that the end is closer. The printer is
yeah.
closer. If they raise, like if they raise 0.25 or 0.5, it's not as good as 1 or 0.75 like last time because there is gonna be some limit, and we're reaching it faster.
Tear the band-aid off, yeah. Tear the band-aid off. I agree. I want the bear market to get over quicker. Like, I want to get back in the bull market, constant orgasm land. I prefer that. So,
When did you launch Hex? When was it? 2019 or
the end of 2019.
End of 2019.
Yeah. So like it's like 1,040 days old now. So it's very rapidly coming up on 3 years. It's more than half as old as Ethereum. Hex is more than half as old as Ethereum now.
Right, and Pulse is following the same trajectory. That is gonna launch in the middle of the bear, and
nice try, timing estimate giver. Says you, buddy.
No timing. No time. It's done when it's done. We got it.
It's done when it's done, dude. Do you like it? I have the camera way up there so I don't seem like I have neck fat now? And actually, I look like, let's see if I can make you what I really look like. I don't know. I'm the Tinder selfie for a land whale. Unfortunate.
I have the same thing. I have another camera that looks worse. This one
are you using, what's your blurring stuff? Are you using that RTX blurring stuff, or what are you using?
No, I'm adjusting StreamYard.
Okay.
StreamYard settings. Okay, guys, more questions about Hex.
The bear market's going to come to an end, and the bull market's going to come, and then you have to decide what you're going to get long. Are you going to get long limp dick, no gains, garbage Bitcoin that couldn't even 3x its all-time high, couldn't even 4x it? Like, its all-time high was 20, it did 69. It couldn't even 4x its all-time high in 5 years. You gonna long that trash? Or you gonna long Ethereum? Okay, money prints less because there's less inflation because you don't have the, miners making so much anymore. But it is kind of tied to Bitcoin. Unfortunate. And if Bitcoin's limp dick, kind of makes Ethereum limp dick. So look at Ethereum. It only went from its all-time high of 15K up to 5K. Basically, it just did like a 4x as well. Not even. Well, that sucks. So like, then you've got Hex. Movie's not out.
Well, now you have Pulse.
Listings. And
as
you got
well
Pulse
soon.
Too. No. If
So, how does that work with your theory of not cannibalizing?
If you get Hex, you get it on 2 chains. If you get Pulse, you get it on 1 chain. So that's kind of interesting. Depends how much liquidity is there, right? And then, look, I don't have a crystal ball. A lot of people in crypto speak with great certainty about stuff they don't know anything about. I keep it real, man. I'm not certain about stuff I'm not certain about. I don't make fake certainty. I don't do that game. So I don't know what's going to outperform. Is Hex going to beat Pulse? Is Pulse going to beat Hex? Are the 2 hexes on both chains going to beat Pulse? Is Pulse X going to beat Pulse? I don't know. I know there's a buy and burn function in Pulse X that's pretty awesome that actually market buys one side of the order book, you know? So it's not like a normal burn where there's no buy pressure, it's just burn. But a buy and burn is like a different kind of movement. It's like a bigger deal, you know? I can't predict these things. I don't know, and I don't think they're knowable. We just got to see how they go. But I'm a believer,
There's a
man. Like every L1's taken off hard. So the best L1, me happy.
Exactant in the chat asks about the stablecoin value on Pulse. And
Well,
if
look,
they are
USDC,
bridged,
USDC and USDC and USDT can invalidate all of the stable coins on any fork because they have an admin key. But they didn't choose to do that on the ETHW fork. So cool. I think that the most commonly used stablecoin is going to be a bridged-in stablecoin until they launch a native version on the chain. So you can get native USDC on Tron. You can get it on Ethereum. You can get it on AVAX, I think. So like there's other chains that have native issued stablecoins. They just care that there's a working consensus network and users, I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw native stable issued on Pulse from the same guys that have issued them on other chains.
yeah, they issue it on Tron, they issue it on all kinds of chains. So it would make sense that they also expand as Pulse chain gets traction. But what we will see from the beginning are all the copied ones getting...
Showing off my Chanel chain. I know you ladies watching, all one of you, love this very expensive Chanel chain. If you like Chanel, can I interest you in a Chanel book purse that looks like a book, but it's actually a purse?
What's the game theory gonna be, you think, with stable coins?
I really don't know. I don't know. I think that they'll have much lower value than the ones that are redeemable for real money. I think probably people will empty them for things that have more community traction. So you'll probably see people, I mean, look, my guess is you'd see people dump a lot of stables or copied stables on the Pulse chain. I think you'd see them dump for stuff that has probably traction like Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. Because like my guess is that those three coins in the beginning will have the largest communities just because I invented it and I also invented Hex. And so like all of those dudes that already kind of know me and my stuff they would probably rather be in the stuff they like than in the stuff that they don't care about. So like that's my guess. My guess is that you'll see people dump coins that don't have great adoption for coins that do. And then maybe if there's like great price opportunities from like things just being underpriced, because like at some point, like my gut feeling is that same code, same ticker symbol, price of Link goes up on the Hex chain, probably price of Link goes up on the Pulse chain. My guess. Same code, same ticker. After maybe they flop around a while, maybe they start to move together at some ratio, you know? Just like, look, why is Ethereum moving around with Bitcoin? They do. Why is Bitcoin moving around with the stocks? They do. And so stuff tends to like move around with other stuff that's like similar. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw tickers on Pulse Chain move around with more volatility than there as a leverage position as the tickers on Ethereum. Except for like straight failures. Like if you have an admin key coin that just like uses their admin key to nuke a chain. And then you shouldn't be participating in that anyway, should you? Like, should you be participating in coins that have admin keys? That's not the greatest idea, you know? Like, this one guy could come and take all your money whenever he wants. Sucks. I would avoid that if at all possible.
So someone was asking about the snapshot of the state. And is that going to be at some date in the future when there's more clarity on the tech, or you have some date?
It's a real fork. It's going to be a real fork. So there's some delay, there's some lag, because it takes time to write to the database, but we'll probably announce a block height within a couple day window, probably. I'm just guessing on that. Because like you always want to make sure no one can game anything by like knowing the timing. So people don't need to know an exact time, I don't think. A range of times would be fine. It would even be fine if we didn't announce the time at all, I think. But, I think for some people, they'd like to know a time. So I'd probably give them like in this range, we're trying to launch kind of thing,
Makes sense.
Because maybe they want more of this one thing copied and, because like, look, if you have your coins at a centralized exchange, you're not getting the copies, they are. I hate centralized exchanges. So like, it'd be better if you put the coins in your own wallet and got the copies yourself instead of giving that value for free away to the exchange that doxes you, makes you beg for your own money, etc. I hate exchanges, dude. Hate them.
How much will I need in order to stake?
32. Same. I don't see a reason to change that.
Does it have to be connected?
We're trying to change as few parameters as possible. They're known, working, good. I don't want to change anything if I don't have to.
Well, does it have to be connected to the dollar value that it's, or it doesn't matter if it's $1, 30 cents, or?
Well, you can never tie it to a dollar value, or you have Oracle problem. Central point of failure, scumbaggery. So it has to be native currency only, 32 ETH. There can never, in no blockchain can you ever tie something to a real dollar amount, or you are a slave to whoever runs the server that tells you what a dollar's worth forever. I don't like that.
Yeah,
that's like robust, reliable.
That's if you need real time. But do you think when ETH picked 32, why 32? They probably looked at how much one ETH is worth, that it should be not $1 million, but also not like 5 cents. Or is it fully disconnected, you think?
Well, I hope that's not how they did it, because if that is how they did it, then I should change that number. I could go back and look at the EIPs and see like their logic on it. We could go and discover what their logic was on that, but I'd really rather just copy known good working things, because like you would actually prefer it to be cheaper. And it supports millions of validators out of the box. So like, I'll give it a night of thought. But like, what are we're not going to have 1 million validators off the bat. We're not going to have 1 million users off the bat. It will take a while. You know, like you can always fix it later too. Like we know it works now. Let's run with it. Let's go. We know it works now. If we start to get hiccups or any kind of weirdness, we'll fix it.
Franklin says, Richard, I used to work at Circle. They won't add USDC to Pulse chain unless they're able to KYC heavily. All the chains, with the exception of ETH, are centralized heavily. If you want to...
So
if
KYC
you
me.
want
What do I
more-
give a fuck? You think I've never KYC'd before? Come get my docs, bro. I don't care. I've KYC'd before. You think I bought the fucking world's largest diamond without KYCing, bro? I didn't. I'm the guy traveling the maximum number of borders. I have the least, like, you know, concern about that.
You had a bet about that with Eric Wall.
Yeah. Somebody's like, Richard will never go to America. I'm like, hi, Richard from America. What's up, dum-dums? You guys are stupid. This is like the story of my life. Like, people butt heads with me and they're just wrong all the time. It's crazy. You think they'd learn? Like, I call the top of the day. Anybody else call the top of the day? No? Just me? Okay. Everyone else is like, 100K Bitcoin. I'm like, no, 10K Bitcoin. Stupid. See you at 10K, bro. Now it's 11K in pray. Just because it's easier to hit 11K. But it's really 10.5. So, like, it's whatever 85% off of 69K is. I think it's 10,650. Let's do the math. 0.95 times 69000. It's what? I'm so stupid. 0.15 times 69K. 10,350. It was really 10,350. It was easier to hit 11K, so I say 11K and pray. But like, you really should hit 10,350. Really,
Nicole
really
is
should.
asking. Nicole is asking if we're gonna do 1,000x in the first 300 days, 65 days.
How do I know? Do I have a crystal ball? I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna do. Nobody does. It's not knowable. It could do something crazy, sure, but nobody knows what the probability of it is actually happening.
What about
I mean, look,
Pulse
launching
X?
in a bear makes it more likely, right? Like, launching in a bear makes it easier to go up more.
Someone asked about Pulse X and if there are any changes to liquidity incentivization. Let's see. Are there any updates on tokenomics for the incentive token for LP
No,
on Pulse X?
nope, no updates. You're gonna, you know, there'll be rewards. If you like them, cool. If you don't, whatever. That's the black sheep token. That's the token I care the least about. I care
Sorry,
about
which one? Pulse
I care
X?
about Pulse X, the incentive token. The
Ah,
incentive
okay.
token that has not a name. It
Okay.
doesn't have a fucking name. That's how much I care about it. So, like, you know, it'll get a name. People probably want it. Maybe they'll have a dog picture. Who knows? People like dog pictures. I care the least
That's-
about that token. It could do
Franklin,
well.
Franklin saying to get in touch with Jeremy Allaire about USDC listing.
Okay. Okay.
So, Franklin, maybe you can connect Richard on Twitter.
It's
we
probably
have
Jeremy at circle.com. I get it.
probably
Yo,
Enchanted
small
says
updates. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Basically, that's what she said. Small updates would be really appreciated, even if it's a tweet saying dev's still working. Can't wait for testnet.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, duly noted, man. I got so burnt out about it when you guys savaged me when that one time estimate was given, and like I got punished for that. I didn't deserve to get punished for that. I'm really jaded now. Like I don't want to tell you guys nothing now because you like were so mean about that. I'm like, damn. Okay, well I just won't tell you anything then. Like you don't need to know nothing. I don't work for you. But it's done when it's done. That's what's up. Like this ain't
Yeah,
a company. I don't work for you. It's done when it's
that's
done. But I understand your feels, bro. Like yes, it's being worked on, man. When V3 testnet comes out, you're like, all right.
yeah, and shipping software at the date without being able to cut scope is very difficult. If you can cut scope, you can do it like Apple. Each and every autumn there is an iPhone. But in this case, you cannot really cut scope. So you gotta get it down and
Cut
then
scope. We forked a whole different code base. How's that for cutting scope? Here's our scope cut. And now we're looking over there. But it's faster. It's just more secure, man. There's more audits. I believe in that consensus method way more. We found too many problems with Parelia. We're just like, okay, you know, it was hard. These are hard. These are like, there's a reason that you took so long to get proof of stake. It is actually hard. It's not easy. So like building an alternate secure proof of stake out of Parelia was just like, oh man, this is a nightmare, bro. Like, damn, I didn't know this was so broken. How is everybody else cool with this? And so like, I mean, there's a chance. A lot of this crypto stuff is security by obscurity, but like, I don't really believe in that, man. Like, you know, there's problems, fix the problems. But some of the problems are like computer science worthy breakthroughs. So I'm just going to copy what I know works and what I know has the most audits and has some upsides. When ETH 2.0 gets upgrades with sharding, we get it too. Same code base. That's a lot of upside, you know? And we couldn't use all of the hacky stuff that the Polygon and BSC guys did. It's not cool. I mean, I guess we could, like they limped along. Like we could have launched our own copy of the BC chain too, but like it's just easier to do it the way we're doing now. It's faster and easier and safer.
final question from us. What are some of your favorite countries to travel to?
Wherever guys aren't looking for me like you, buddy. What do you want, my watch? You want my $250,000 watch, huh? Is that what you want? You want to take my arm off? I mean, I like to go to places where it's safe. So I did my time in the States and the third world. And I'm just like, yo, I had enough of that, dude. So I'm gonna have to roll like deep. Like I have a security now, but like even deeper, more security. And like, it's just, I don't feel like us getting shot at, right? So wherever I'm not gonna get shot at, I'm cool with. I'm usually in Europe, you know? I like Europe. So Europe's nice. Maybe I'll go see Ivan in real life. We'll go get fat together. We'll have a smorgasbord. You want to go have a smorgasbord, bro?
Well,
I'm ready.
last time you were here, you introduced or you debated the
Crushed.
minister,
Crushed him.
the
I was
minister
so
of
fat then. I was even
financial
fatter than
markets.
now. Dude, I was fatter then than I am now. I look like real ass back then, dude. Like I was even fatter. It was crazy. I look better than that video. Bro, it's good talking to you, man. I hope that I can give you a bunch of free coins that you get rich on. I hope. And I'm glad that you were one of the first people to realize, like, hey, Hex did this already. You guys are all just doing what Hex does. You were one of the first people to recognize that. You're like, yeah, you guys are just doing what Hex does. Yep. Yeah, they all copied us. Yeah, true. There's a lot of other projects that, like, I don't even know if I should name them, but like, there's other projects, like any project that has like vesting, or like, let's just say, if you lock up for longer, you get more votes. I know a couple of DeFi projects like that, you know, like you get a larger portion of inflation if you lock up longer. I know some coins like that that are very popular. They just copied Hex, whether they realize it or not. like like for instance, I think Compound has or no, Aave has like an insurance fund that has tokens that you lock. And then so does Curve. Curve has a gauge system that kind of tries to copy our shit. It's like, hey, homeboys, we were there first, just so you know. Funny, right? But those are considered like, you know, better than us. You're like, nah, y'all ain't better than us. Not at all.
Hexologist is asking to be let out from the basement.
No. Continue to make JPEGs. You will continue to make thumbnails, Hexologist. He's awesome. I love Hexa.
Par Hexland is asking about exchanges and fiat on and off ramps. Something more than we discussed there.
I mean, OKX wants to list it, and they've just been waiting forever. Like, you know. And then I bet a bunch of other people will list it too. We'll see. I mean, OKX is one of the largest exchanges in the world, so if they list, probably everyone else lists, my guess. Just a guess. I'm not a centralized exchange runner. I'm a promoter of decentralized technologies. I'm not a guy that runs a centralized thing. So I'm not a coin listing site or an exchange, you know. I'm just a lowly software guy that writes mostly free and open source software. Is it mostly? I'm not sure. Partially free and open source software. Hex is not open source. Open to view, open to inspect, open to audit, not open to copy.
On that note,
Good
Richard,
talking to you.
good talking to you. Fantastic time together. Guys, smash the like, tweet it out, spread the
Bear
word.
market will end. The bear market will end. Can I show
It
my
will
socials?
end. Do it.
Richard Hart went on Twitter. World's largest diamond. Called the Bitcoin top in the day. Told you when the Ethereum top would happen too, 26 days later. Because it did last cycle. Told you it was likely. $10 million in wristwatches, $1 million of Bulgari jewelry. World's largest free airdrop. The only one really trying to get you cheaper Ethereum fees now, as opposed to infinity later when starting might ever happen. Follow me. Check me out. You would hate if you missed my bottle call, wouldn't you? Twitter.com/RichardHartWin. Instagram.com/RichardHartOfficial. TikTok / Richard Hart Diamond. I don't even know if they use the slash, but whatever.
You do dancing, lip sync.
I should. I really should. I do dancing, but I gotta do lip syncing.
I was thinking
do
that
pull tricks.
I saw
And
that.
on YouTube, Richard Hart on YouTube.
It's hard to be nowadays because I mean when I was growing up, Instagram came. And then everyone was taking selfies and filters, trying to look nice. And now kids are gonna dance. They gotta dance and lip sync. It's like a whole level, new level of performance. A lot of demands.
Ready.
You ready to
ready to Vogue. All right.
Okay.
See you later, everybody.
See you.
Ivan,
Bye,
pleasure,
guys.
Ciao, bro.
Likewise. See you.